Once again, it's your brother, Demetrius Knuckles Hill, with the Great Minds Project 5.0. And I was just going over a lot of the things that I talked about over the last week and realized that most everything that I talked about has something to do with P. Diddy. And so I started just looking and I'm like, man, P. Diddy mad at everybody right now. P. Diddy is mad at everybody right now. Listen, P. Diddy, he mad at Cat Williams because recent video came out of Cat Williams talking about P. Diddy and Jermaine Dupri years ago, calling them that P word that deals with violating children or underage individuals. So the tape came out with Cat Williams, and Cat Williams laid it on P. Diddy back then. Talked about how disgusting of an individual he was. And he didn't have any good words to say about him recently when he was on Shannon Sharp's show. Y'all know the Shay Club, Club Shay Shay. He didn't have nothing good to say about Diddy then. So Diddy is mad right now. Diddy pissed off. Diddy is pissed off right now. As you can see behind me, I have pictures of a lot of the people that Diddy pissed off at right now. And he got every reason to be pissed off, whether it's founded or unfounded. He got every reason to be pissed off. But I just want to go over some stuff as I did with Cat Williams, because Cat Williams just put it on the floor. He real raw and uncut. And some people don't like that. But when Cat Williams did that interview years ago and he talked about Diddy and he talked about Jermaine Dupri, go back and look at it. Or you can just go to YouTube and look up the video of Cat Williams going in on Diddy. And so now you got Cat Williams went all the way in on Diddy, didn't hold him up, spoke about him years ago, about the stuff that he's doing today. He never minced his words. He told the story years ago about what P. Diddy was doing, but nobody listened to Cat Williams because they said Cat Williams just crazy, he be getting drunk all the time and that type of thing, right? But little did they know, years later, everything that Cat Williams was saying about P. Diddy is coming to light. And a lot of his associates, everything he was saying about P. Diddy's associates is coming to light as well. And so I commend Cat Williams for coming out those years ago to put P. Diddy on the floor. Listen, I'm still not saying that all allegations are true against this brother, but what I am saying is that there's something going on here, and it bears a lot of, and it stinks. Let me put it that way, and it stinks. And just me being me, I'm telling you, when I smell something that stink, that means something is funky. And when something is funky, that means something going on. Something ain't clean. Something ain't going right. Somebody doing something wrong. And so now, when you look at P. Diddy's situation from Cat Williams' perspective, here is a brother that's been in the industry. He was once signed to Dipset, actually. But he's been in the industry around a lot of big wigs, around a lot of famous people, around a lot of powerful individuals. So he was able to hear some stuff, see some stuff, smell some stuff. And he talked about it. He talked about it in his comedy stand-up. He talked about a lot of this stuff. So we commend Cat Williams on that. Another person that Diddy is just pissed off at, y'all, we already know the one person who kind of got this ball rolling that he's pissed off at. I'll talk about her later. But another person who he's pissed off at is Usher. Why would P. Diddy be pissed off at Usher? Because Usher did an interview years ago that's now coming back to haunt Diddy about when Usher lived with Diddy when he was, everybody say 14 and 15. Actually, Usher was living with Diddy earlier than that. And so Usher did the interview where he talked about being around Diddy and Diddy taking him to places and allowing him to see things that no child should see. Allowing him to see things that no child should see. So why would Diddy be mad at that? Because now allegations are being made against Diddy concerning children. Concerning children. And Usher is one of those children who was under P. Diddy's control. So naturally, Usher would know firsthand how P. Diddy operate. And with no ill intent at the time, when Usher did that interview, he did reveal and spill some real serious beans about P. Diddy's character. He said he showed him a life that he said, I sure seen some stuff. And he didn't even want to go into what he's seen. And if you go back and look at the interview with Usher, when they was asking him about that stuff, he did not even want to tell you what he's seen. So in my mind, it had to be that traumatizing to a young boy at that time, because that's how he put it, that he was too young to know what he was looking at. He was too young to know what he was looking at. And so Usher, who was once P. Diddy's little brother, as he said, once his little brother, and I'm not going to take it no further than that, because I don't know. I have no personal information about them because I know neither one of them. But I know what Diddy said in the news. And I know what Usher said in the news. So Diddy said Usher was like his little brother. They used to wake up together. Diddy said Usher was like his little brother. They used to wake up together. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Usher lived with Diddy at one point, and Diddy said, this came from Diddy, that Usher was like his little brother. They used to wake up together, and they used to wrestle over Frosted Flakes. Usher is approximately 10, 11, 12 years younger than P. Diddy. So here's a grown man wrestling with a little boy. I'm not implying anything. So don't think I'm implying something. The only thing that I'm saying is that it doesn't sound right that a grown man, with the things that's coming out now, that a grown man would be wrestling with a little boy. That doesn't sit right with me. That a grown man, that grown man being P. Diddy, was wrestling with the little boy. That little boy being Usher, when Usher was 12, 13, 14, whatever it was at the time that he was living with P. Diddy. And I'm only bringing that up because now allegations have come out against Diddy about grooming little boys and girls. But in this case, I'm talking about Usher. So I'm speaking about a little boy. And so P. Diddy is definitely mad at Usher right now. He's definitely mad at Usher right now because obviously he couldn't foresee this coming back to haunt him, but it's coming back to haunt him. You know, many people who are engaged in wrongdoing, and I'm telling you from firsthand experience, never think that we're going to get caught. We out here in these streets doing what we do. We never think that we're going to get caught. You know, so we don't devise a plan in our mind to defend ourselves against any allegations in the event that we're caught, because we don't never think we're getting caught. We always think we're smarter than people around us. And that's right, Taylor made you say, you reap what you sow. And again, that's not saying that this brother did anything wrong or did the allegation that that a lot of people are saying he did. But that's just to say that you reap what you sow. I don't care if you didn't or did do something. You're going to reap what you sow. If you did something, you're going to reap what you sow. Karma, that's karma. Everybody has karma. Even in that text that so many people read on Sundays, it says, no good deed shall go unpunished. No good deed. It says no good deed shall go unpunished. And we've seen that in so many cases. And I'm just going to bring up one other case and then bring us back to my brother P. Diddy. In Michael Jackson's case, this man was known around the world for helping people. He was known around the entire globe for helping people. We've seen the videos of him in Africa. We've seen the videos of him in Russia. We've seen the videos of him in India. We've seen the videos of him all over the entire globe, helping people, spending millions upon millions of dollars. He did music and donated all the proceeds to impoverished people on many occasions. But he was punished because no good deed goes unpunished. See, because that simply means that sometimes when you think you're doing good or you know you're doing good, you're going to be faced with challenges because you're doing good. That's life. Denzel Washington did an interview recently, and he said something so profound that I held on to. He always is a profound brother. He said that the devil, he said, when you doing nothing wrong, he said, I'm just paraphrasing, when you do nothing wrong, the devil, he don't want to mess with you because you're already doing what he wants you to do. He ain't got no reason to mess with you. He only messing with the people that's not carrying out his instructions. This is why no good deed goes unpunished. This is why in that good book, in the story of Job, when the devil came to Job and said, I'll take all this stuff away from you. And Job was like, no, you won't. The devil told Job, he said, I will not only take all this stuff against you, but that God that you say you pray to and that is your father, you will turn against him. Job said, oh, no, I won't. I'm a servant of him. So the devil talked to God. He said, look, is that one of your favorite right there? God said, yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's my man's right there. The devil say, I bet you that if I get a hold of him, he will turn on you. God said, no, he won't. That's one of my favorite right there. So the story goes that all of Job's worldly possessions was taken away from him. They was taken away from him. He was a farmer, millionaire, wealthy person. All of this stuff was material wealth was taken away. And children, everything. He began to stand a little firm, but he began to wobble a little bit and straddle the fence a little bit because he began to question who he said was his father. But he stood fast. He said, no, I'm standing over here and that's that. You can do what you want to do, devil, but I'm standing over here and that's that. I ask that y'all please share out my feed because I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. Listen, I woke up this morning. I thought about all the brothers and sisters whom I have helped along the way and who have helped me get to where I'm at and who's still helping me to get to where I'm trying to go. I'm thinking about all of them and I'm trying to share with you some of the wisdom that they share with me. So back to the story of Job. So now the devil called himself testing Job. God gave him the authority. He said, okay, that's my man's. Put him to the test. And I guarantee you, he don't turn on me. That's my guy. Make a long story short, anybody that read that book know that Job didn't turn on God. He stood fast. And God returned to him all of the things that he worked his life to obtain. He returned all that stuff to him. Now, why am I saying this? Because I'm just saying that no good deed goes unpunished. So even when you're doing good things in life, you're going to be punished. That means you're going to be challenged. That means you're going to be whipped. That means the devil is watching you harder because you're doing certain things that the devil don't like. So he's going to watch you a little harder. But when you're already doing the devil's work, he ain't got to watch you. It's like the Willie Lynch syndrome. When Willie Lynch say, if we do this, this, and that, if we brutalize them mentally and leave them mentally enslaved, we don't have to tell them to do nothing. They're going to do it anyway because we already got them mentally. The thought is the cause of it all. So if we could take away what they ever thought about themselves and restore and replace what they thought about themselves with the way that we think about them, we can make them do anything we want them to do. And not only are they going to do it, but they're going to teach our, and when I say our, I'm talking about those racist slaveholders, and I'm not saying everyone is racist. I'm talking about the racist slaveholders. The Willie Lynch syndrome, the book talks about how if we could get control of their mind, we can get them to teach their children to surrender their mind to us as well. We can get them to teach their children to surrender their mind to us as well. We can get them to teach their children to fear us as well. Get up off here then. If you got a problem, hey, you ain't got to be on my feed, Diddy 973. Get up off the feed then, brother. I didn't invite you anyway. So now, as I was saying, Diddy is mad at Denzel. So I segue right into Denzel because he's mad at Denzel for this reason. Denzel never said nothing outwardly about Diddy. He never said nothing bad about Diddy. It's just that Denzel attended one of Diddy's parties, and he never came back. And that right there in Hollywood tells a story. That tells a story in Hollywood that here's one of the biggest name actors in the entire world. One of the biggest name actors in the entire world, and he attends a Diddy party. Diddy is on that status like him. Diddy is in the music field and in the business field. He's in the movies and acting field. Big men, giants in the field. And Diddy invites Denzel to the party. Denzel comes to the party, and Denzel is seen leaving the party, and he's not smiling. He's not waving at people like he felt good, like he was amused. He's doing none of that. Go back and look at the video. This ain't me talking. Just go back and look at the video. This ain't something I'm just spewing out my head. So now Denzel Washington, he leaves the party like he was in a hurry to get away from that party. He left the party. And I think him leaving the party was a direct indictment of what he's seen. I think that him leaving the party was a direct indictment of the character of the party. I think that him leaving the party was a direct indictment that the party was not something that was helpful or healthy for people to attend who had certain morals, principles, or directions, or certain statuses in life that they did not want to jeopardize by attending that Diddy party. So Denzel Washington, being a stand-up guy that he is said to be, because I don't know him either, but he's said to be a stand-up guy, he left Diddy's party. He left it, and he never came back to a Diddy party again. He never attended not even one more of Diddy's parties. Not one more. To me, that tells a story. If your brother who loves you dearly, who brags about you in front of everybody, hello from Ghana. All right. If your brother came to your house, this is your brother, y'all bump hands, you know, all the love and dap, give to one another, support, give to one another in movies and things like this, take advice for one another. And you invite your brother to your house, the brother that's very proud of you and the brother that you're very proud of. You invite him to your house. And first of all, you invite him to a party at your house. You invite him to a party at your house. Your brother come there. Your brother don't say bye. Your brother don't say nothing. Your brother simply creeps out the house and hurries to his car so he can leave your party. And he never comes back to your party. I think that says that something was going on at that party that he didn't want to be a part of. And furthermore, this is the history and the annals of entertainment news. Furthermore, you would never see him and Denzel all huggy anymore after that one occasion. I think that tells of the breaking down of a brotherhood. I think that tells the story of disillusion, or even some people would feel betrayed that you would have me come to such a party and this is going on and you invited me here. I'm not into this. I don't care if it was whatever type of sexual activity was going on. It's just the mere fact that whatever was going on, you never heard me talk like this, man, but you're going to have me come here? I feel disrespected. I'm ashamed for myself and ashamed for you. I'm out of here. And so, again, Diddy is mad at Denzel Washington. Why is he mad at Jamie Foxx? Especially after all the allegations against Jamie Foxx. Whole lot of allegations surrounding Jamie Foxx right now. That naked basketball game. Naked basketball games. Jamie Foxx having naked basketball games. Read up on it. It's people who was actually there who verified that Jamie Foxx hosted naked basketball games with all men. That's the kicker. It was all men, not women, all men. It was people there who said that they were there. And people, Jamie Foxx been on talk shows where they asked him about the naked basketball games. And he just laughed it off. He just laughed it off. I went back to the tape and looked at a lot of interviews with Jamie Foxx concerning the naked basketball game that he was hosting. Naked basketball game. Let me clarify this again. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying and understand why I'm saying this. Jamie Foxx was said by many witnesses in Hollywood. They said that Jamie Foxx was hosting naked basketball games where the naked individuals were all men. They were all men, not no women, all men. Jamie Foxx was hosting these games. And so, as we know, Jamie Foxx, he said Jamie is not Jamie, he was cloned. Okay. All right. And as we know, and the topic of this show is that Diddy mad at everybody. So why would he be mad at Jamie Foxx? Because Jamie Foxx did interviews where he said that he followed Diddy around with a camera at Diddy's parties. And we know those parties now to be sex parties. I mean, sex parties, all type of sex parties. We talking about everything under the rainbow type parties. And so Jamie Foxx video a lot of this stuff. And Jamie Foxx could even be seen in some of the video with the camera, walking around with Diddy while Diddy is partying. Now, what does that mean for Diddy? That means that there's tape. There's tape. Now, if there's tape, which we know there to be tape, that tape shows the faces of many individuals who may or may not admit to being at Diddy's parties for whatever reason, political or otherwise, career or otherwise. But the tape exists. And Jamie Foxx has said during an interview that Diddy's parties be wild. Diddy's parties be wild. And they showed him videoing some of Diddy's parties. This means that Jamie Foxx knows some dirt, has some dirt. And when you fighting for your life like this, like Diddy is, you don't like nobody having dirt. You hoping that somebody come to your aid and that nobody turns in their dirt. But when you talk about a video camera and the cameraman, you know that some dirt exists. And now you throw in this part of the fact that here's a man who was videoing Diddy parties, which we now know to be freak parties, which we now know to have sadomasochism going on in there, some of homosexual acts going on in there, bisexual acts, all type of acts of sexual activity going on in there. And this is being videoed by someone who said that Diddy's parties are wild. And not only did he say Diddy's parties are wild, but he's the host of naked basketball games. So that's wild. So when somebody is the host of naked basketball games involving men, and they could describe another party as being wild, and you hosting a naked basketball game with all men, and now you saying that Diddy's parties are wild, that to me mean that it was wild. It was wild for a person who was the host of naked basketball games with all men to describe somebody else's party as wild. That's wild. That's what. Am I making sense? Somebody, if I'm not making sense, somebody chime in and tell me to shut the hell up. If I'm not making sense, somebody chime in and tell me to shut the hell up. Because I'm only saying that Diddy is mad at these type of people. He couldn't be mad when it happened because he never imagined that he would be under the microscope like he is today. So he had no reason to be mad back then. He was just, and I'm gonna use this word because I have been this way too, and probably gonna be this way a couple more times before I pass on. He was stupid back then, that he would allow video of all this type of stuff, that he would allow so many people to know his secrets. See, I learned that a man without a secret is a man that can't be trusted, because that means he told everything he ever knew. We all got to have a secret. A man without a secret is a man that cannot be trusted, because that means that he told everything that he ever knew. We got to have a secret. Everybody got to. I wouldn't care how small or large the secret is. You got to be able to keep something under the hat. If you can't keep nothing under the hat, man, you can't be trusted. Woman, you can't be trusted. Period. I don't care who you are. Y'all got them aunties. Y'all know them aunties we got. Them uncles we got that they say, don't tell them. They gonna tell everything. What we being advised, don't tell them, they gonna tell everything. That means don't tell them. They're not to be trusted to hold information. I'm just being real. So now, Diddy mad at Jamie Foxx, y'all. He mad as hell at Jamie Foxx. He mad at Jamie Foxx for not disposing of evidence that he was the host of naked basketball games for all men. Because when you're a host like that of naked basketball game for all men, that means that you have some type of interest in that realm of sport. I'm gonna use that term, in that realm of sport. No, that ain't what I'm saying, Walt 270. That's not what I'm saying. Walt said that, am I saying that they should have kept all of this stuff a secret? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that P. Diddy is mad at people like Jamie Foxx because Jamie Foxx should have had better raps on the video of him hosting naked basketball games, because that means now that Jamie Foxx is into that type of stuff, watching men butt naked play basketball, all men. And now this lends weight to why he would video shoot P. Diddy's parties. And then when he say P. Diddy's parties are wild, but yet he's the host of naked basketball games with all men, that means that he must really see some wild stuff. Because in my opinion, I never played naked basketball. I wouldn't play naked basketball with men or women. But if I seen something like that or heard something like that, like I did, I would say, wow, that's scantless right there. Wow. Now, if I seen this type of stuff in my life, and then I see somebody else doing something else, and I say, wow, golly. After I just seen what I seen and I'm still talking about that's wild, that means that got to be some real deplorable stuff that I'm seeing. Oh, you say you went to a Diddy party in Hollywood. Watch out. I ain't mad at you. I ain't accused you of nothing. I ain't say you did nothing. But you said I would never do that again. So you must have seen something. See what I'm saying? You must have seen something. All right. So Jamie was stupid because he went to these basketball games and host these naked basketball games with all men. And now that's coming back to haunt him, which in turn, he was the cameraman for Diddy doing his freak parties. And now that all falls on Diddy's shoulders to say, look, this is the type of individuals that Diddy had around him. They say, if you want to know a man's character, watch the company he keep. All right. All right, y'all. So we're going to move right along. We're going to move right along, y'all. We're going to talk about, I'm going to get to one of these juicy guys right here. One of these juicy guys, one of these stories that's so juicy that it drips. It drips with Diddy juice. And I'm not saying that in a playful way. So we talked about Cat Williams. We talked about Usher. We talked about Denzel Washington. We talked about Jamie Foxx. Why Diddy would be mad at them. Why would he be mad at Kevin Hart, though? Why would Diddy be mad at Kevin Hart? What do he got to be mad at Kevin Hart about? Maybe it's the fact that Kevin Hart hosted Diddy parties. So Kevin Hart know the secrets. Well, actually, they weren't secrets. That's just it. Too many people knew about it, so it couldn't be a secret. But Kevin Hart knows what goes on at Diddy parties. He was the host. And this is not me talking. It's all on video. Even when Kevin Hart went to P. Diddy's room one time. If y'all look at that video, Kevin Hart is hosting it. He got the microphone. Kevin Hart went to go stand by Diddy's bed. I don't even think he was going to sit on it. Diddy said, no, don't sit on that bed. Don't sit right there. Don't sit right there. So this means he was in Diddy's room, right? Diddy cautioned him about sitting on the bed. That doesn't say much. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't say much. This is all on video. This is not stuff that I'm just making up or rambling on about. This is all on video. Diddy tell him not to touch his bed. That doesn't say much alone. But when you take into account that then the scene moved to the bathroom where Kevin Hart was, and there was the tub had women in it, the tubs had women around it. And now you could kind of make out what type of party that Kevin knew that he was at. And he attended many Diddy parties. He attended many Diddy parties. He was the host of Diddy's party. He seen something. And Diddy know that Kevin Hart seen something. And I want to just say this here. I just named 5 people that Diddy mad at right now. Has any of those people come out to attest to the good character of Diddy? That's another reason why he mad at him. So Kevin Hart, the comedian, who Diddy looked at like a little brother, who Diddy took around him like a little brother, who Diddy allowed to hostess parties with Diddy, when Diddy can be seen planting a kiss on his son's cheek, and Kevin Hart said, man, don't nobody want to see that stuff. Just think about what I'm saying. If anybody have any disagreement with what I'm saying, speak up. State your disagreement. State your disagreement. Because I've reviewed so much videotape. I've reviewed so much videotape surrounding P. Diddy and all the people that he infected or affected along the way, that it's incredible. Kevin Hart, the comedian, the host of the Diddy parties, the host of Diddy's freak parties, seen everything that anyone can imagine that he's seen at a freak party. A freak party thrown by P. Diddy himself. And so now, what is Diddy hoping for about Kevin Hart? He hoping that, first of all, don't no allegations come out about Kevin Hart. Don't no allegations come out about Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart gets squoze. And Kevin Hart begins to speak about what he's seen going on at Diddy parties. He praying that Kevin Hart keeps his mouth shut. Keeps his mouth shut. That Kevin Hart understands that although it's asinine to believe that Diddy's parties are a part of a secret society, because it's obviously can't be secret because everybody know about it. But Diddy is hoping that Kevin Hart understands that you got to keep a secret. You don't have to be the one to spill the beans. Be my friend. Don't spill the beans. Diddy is so mad at Kevin Hart right now because Kevin Hart won't come to his aid either. Because if Kevin Hart came to his aid, then now Kevin Hart's own character would be under scrutiny, because then those videos would come up where Kevin Hart was the host. And they'll say, well, Kevin, so you mean to tell me that you saying Diddy was not the guy that's being described in the public's eye? He's not that guy. He's not that diabolical freak. He does not have these freak offs like that. He does not have the type of character that grooms little boys. That's where I'm getting to, y'all. That grooms little boys. That's not Diddy. But yet, you was at Diddy's parties, and everybody else that was there who did speak out about it told us the stuff that was going on there. But Kevin, you're going to tell me that P. Diddy is a good, upstanding guy, huh? And you was the host of these parties? I think not. And Diddy is mad at Kevin for that reason. Diddy mad at birds of a feather flock together, Dr. Dolores Benjamin. I agree with you. Night Breeze, TD Jakes seen a lot too. Since we talking about TD Jakes, let's talk about TD Jakes. Why Diddy mad as hell at TD Jakes? You the good pastor. You the good pastor, TD. You got a mega church. You got a loud voice that carries across the United States and into other countries. You have a stature. You have a podium. You have a platform. You have the minds of the people. TD, man, I need you to keep your mouth shut, Pastor. Let this be some stuff that I told to you in confidence. But you think TD Jakes concerned about what Diddy talking about when he fighting for his own life? He fighting for his own life amongst millions of people that follow him. And Diddy don't like that. Diddy don't like that. It's every man for himself right now. Bishop TD Jakes, I said Bishop TD Jakes, is fighting for his life. He's fighting for his life right now. He has a wife. He has children. How do you think he feel with his wife even hearing allegations that he was at a Diddy party? Especially when we now know what Diddy parties consist of. Oh, we know about Kirk Franklin. Oh, I got a whole show about Kirk Franklin and a few other gospel individuals. We'll talk about that later. But how do you think Diddy feel about TD Jakes? Knowing that TD Jakes know the secrets. The pastor know the secret. The pastor has so much to lose. The pastor is someone whom the police would go to and expect to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. That's the pastor, the good pastor. Do you think Diddy is sparing the wrath of his anger because he's a pastor right now? Or do you think that Diddy is saying, man, just keep your mouth shut, TD Jakes? Keep your mouth. Let this be one of those times that you don't open your big mouth. Don't open your mouth, TD Jakes, because Diddy's life is dependent upon your word. Bishop TD Jakes, you got the mind of millions. You got the mind of people in politics. You got the mind of people in the legal field. You got the mind of the people on the ground. You got the mind of the people in the church. You got the mind of the people, TD Jakes. Diddy is mad because he's scared that TD Jakes is going to spill the beans because he has to defend and fight for his own life. He's fighting for his own life. He's seen a whole lot. We know he's seen a whole lot. But if you did not go to TD Jakes, and P. Diddy know this, if you did not go to TD Jakes, him as your pastor, to confess a sin to him as your pastor, he do not have to keep it secret. There's no confidence there. And Diddy know that? TD Jakes do not have to hold any secret that P. Diddy may or may not have told him if P. Diddy did not go to him for counsel as his pastor. He do not have to protect that confidence. So Diddy is pissed off right now with TD Jakes because he know that TD Jakes is fighting for his own livelihood right now. He know that TD Jakes, if anybody can help him out right now, it's TD Jakes, because TD Jakes holds such a large platform and have so many people's minds. But TD Jakes is not even coming to P. Diddy's aid. TD Jakes is fighting for his own life. He's saying, I wasn't there. That wasn't me. So he got people behind him trying to coach him on how best to address this issue, how best to clean up this issue. TD Jakes is fighting for his life. And Diddy is mad because TD Jakes is fighting for his life, which means that self-preservation is the first law of nature. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. So do you think that TD Jakes is about to defend you and protect you and save you from the wrath while he himself burned? I think not. And you know that. Somebody said earlier that you reap what you sow. And who I'm thinking about right now is Shine, the one that you helped go to prison for 10 years for a shooting that you was involved in. I think about him and how in your mind, it was every man for themselves, even though you was the boss, even though you had the financial backing to get him a good attorney and get him up off the case, you didn't do it. You was fighting for your own life. You was fighting for your own career in music. And so what do you think TD Jakes is doing right now? Fighting for his own life. This is why we're not hearing a lot from TD Jakes right now, because his attorneys in the background is trying to figure out a way to smoothen this out. They got to do some damage control, because this man is a bishop. He's a world-renowned bishop. He's a well-respected bishop. He's a high-ranking bishop. He's a immensely loved bishop. Someone that when you just hear the name Bishop TD Jakes, just the name, you don't even have to see the person, just the name Bishop TD Jakes, you think of some motivation, some inspiration, some positive affirmation that he has said over some TV screen or some radio that you heard. That man is fighting for his life. That's why P. Diddy mad at TD Jakes. Moving right along. Oh man, we're gonna talk about TK Osiris, the other little boy that P. Diddy took under his wing, that was said to be P. Diddy's boy toy. That was said to be P. Diddy's boy toy. TK Osiris. TK Osiris suffered mental breakdown and left the whole music industry. He left it behind. He even threatened to unalive himself because he was fed up and frustrated with what goes on in the music industry. He was said to be P. Diddy's concubine, one of his boy toys. When P. Diddy went to Jamaica and the media found out that YK Osiris was also in Jamaica at the exact same time, in the exact same location, and pictures surfaced of P. Diddy in the water with no shirt on. There was no one else around him, no female, no male. Pictures surfaced. And there was a caption on the picture on social media from YK Osiris acknowledging P. Diddy, as P. Diddy was in the water without his shirt. Then there was the picture on social media of strawberries or some type of berries sitting in front of YK Osiris. And it was alleged, I don't believe this to be true, but I'm just saying it was alleged that it was P. Diddy feeding YK Osiris the strawberries and berries while they were in the water at the beach or whatever. YK Osiris was asked about this in an interview. He said, the interviewer asked him, was he with P. Diddy in Jamaica? Please go look at the interview. Please look at the interview and you tell me what you got from it. YK Osiris, he looked at the interviewer and started laughing. He said, nah, started laughing. He said, were you and P. Diddy together in Jamaica? Yep, I seen that interview. He was laughing and blushing. Boy, he was laughing and blushing like he was in love. And he said, no. They said, who was with you? He said, some female or something. Did nobody see no female with him, though? No one seen a female with YK Osiris. So why would P. Diddy be mad at YK? For that very interview. He could not answer the question with a straight face. He couldn't lie with a straight face like Diddy do, and like other big entertainers and politicians do. He couldn't lie with the straight face. So that made everybody take a closer look at Diddy with respects to grooming, especially in this day and age where all these allegations are coming out about Diddy. It made people look at Diddy in a different light and say, man, was you really messing with this little boy? Especially now that we finding out that the young boy YK Osiris is suffering some mental breakdown, wanted to off himself and all that stuff. People are saying, man, what in the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on around Diddy that people are feeling this way? What is going on? That people are feeling this way about Diddy. YK Osiris talk about he want to take his own life. He quit music. He talked about these brothers out in music are demons. He said they be talking about how they pray to God and they thank God for blessing them with so much wealth and so many material things. And he said, man, that ain't blessings from God. That's blessings from the devil. He said, these guys are devils. Why would he go in like that? Somebody talk to me. Why would YK Osiris go in like that about the industry and these brothers in the industry always claiming God, but they acting like the devil? Why would he be saying this? What, because he crazy? All right, he crazy. He crazy. Everybody crazy when they speak out against somebody powerful in Hollywood. Everybody crazy. And that brings me to my next guy. Lil Jerome. I told y'all about Lil Jerome. He was on Bad Boy when he was 12 years old. He was the Bad Boy artist when he was 12 years old. And he was a gospel singer. But they wanted to turn his music, his gospel singing, into some type of R&B. That's what P. Diddy and them wanted. And whatever was going on with this little brother, he began having anxiety attacks and stuff like that, so serious that his mother said he was supposed to be coming out to perform and he was in the back room. He couldn't even move. She said he couldn't even move because he was having a panic attack. He couldn't even move. Here's a little boy who felt that he was born to perform, who was no stranger to performing. But now he's on Bad Boy, and he done probably went through that flavor camp. That Bad Boy had the flavor camp that Usher went to, that L.A. Reid sent Usher to, the flavor camp. See, he done went through this, probably went through the flavor camp, and now he's having anxiety attacks and panic attacks. He couldn't even come out the dressing room to perform. And so, because he couldn't come out the dressing room to perform, you know what P. Diddy did? You know what P. Diddy did? Soon thereafter, that may not have been an incident, so don't think that I'm saying that. But soon thereafter, P. Diddy dropped the little boy from the label. But before he was dropped from the label, guess what happened? Little Jerome was seen running out of Bad Boy Studios butt naked down the public street. He was seen running out of the studios butt naked. When I say he was seen, that means somebody has already attested to seeing this happen, witnessed this happen. So that's the case of Lil Jerome, another person who suffered all type of illness and stuff like that. Ain't that something? Another person who suffered all type of illnesses and don't nobody really want to talk to or listen to no more because he got problems and all that type of stuff. So hold on one second. So we got Lil Jerome. Right? He's crazy. He suffered from the problems, but he never came out and said anything good about P. Diddy either. He said, at first he said P. Diddy did take care of him. That's how he started off. We was talking about in the beginning. I mean, sure. I'm sure he's gonna take care of you in the beginning because he got to get you in the house. That's just common grooming practices. To get your man first, because if I get your man, your body gonna follow. And so that was the other little young boy. It's so many. So whatever happened with Justin Bieber, remember him? P. Diddy mad at Justin Bieber, y'all. P. Diddy mad at Justin Bieber. Why is he mad at Justin Bieber? Because Justin Bieber lived with Diddy for a couple days. He went to P. Diddy's flavor camp too. And Justin Bieber, as a child star, he's on the video, and this is video of this again, where P. Diddy promised to allow Justin Bieber to drive his, Lamborghini? He promised to allow Justin Bieber to drive his Lamborghini when Justin Bieber turned 16 years old. That means that Justin Bieber was 15 years old at the time. And he stayed with P. Diddy for 2 days. P. Diddy's own words is this here. And I'm paraphrasing it, but I'm not taking away anything that he said. He said, "We are not going to tell you where we're going to hang out at or what we're going to do. But Justin Bieber is with me for the next 2 days." Justin Bieber is with me. Now we all know that Justin Bieber is the protege of Usher, and Usher is the protege of Diddy. Diddy groomed Usher. Usher was sent to Diddy by L.A. Reid. Usher discovers Justin Bieber. Usher brings Justin Bieber to his groomer, Diddy. And so now, Justin Bieber makes some very good music. He did his thing. You know, everybody, you can't take nothing away from that young talent right there. But something happened. Something happened, and Diddy never talked about what happened. Diddy never even told what his flavor camp consisted of. But there's only children going there. Does that raise any eyebrows? Somebody talk to me. Share out my feed as well. Share out my live feed. Share out my live feed. I'm asking that y'all share out my live feed. I want to get some people that want to interact. Share out my live feed, please. I thank you. And can anybody help me make sense of that? That L.A. Reid said that he sent Usher to P. Diddy's flavor camp. This means that L.A. Reid knows something, right? This means L.A. Reid knows something. Because L.A. Reid said he sent Usher to P. Diddy's flavor camp. Now, where is the evidence, or what's the schedule, or what's the program of this flavor camp? I want to know. I'm curious right now. What the hell is the flavor camp? I'm curious. Somebody tell me, have you ever heard of the flavor camp and what's supposed to go on at the flavor camp? Have you ever heard of any adult going to the flavor camp? Have you ever heard of any adults going to P. Diddy's flavor camp? I'm waiting. I want somebody to tell me that, first of all, you have heard of the flavor camp, and that tell me what the flavor camp consisted of. Because I'm waiting. I'm trying to figure out what did this flavor camp consist of that L.A. Reid knew about. Let's not leave that brother out, y'all. Let's not leave that brother L.A. Reid out of this. L.A. Reid sent Usher to P. Diddy flavor camp. And we'll give y'all a little history on L.A. Reid too. L.A. Reid is the one behind Toni Braxton. And Toni Braxton wasn't getting paid for her music and all of that, but that's another story. I just wanted to throw that out there. Just to show y'all some shady stuff. And so now, Usher sent Justin Bieber to Diddy, obviously to go through that flavor camp. What is the flavor camp, though? What is the flavor camp that L.A. Reid sent Usher to, and Usher ended up sending Justin Bieber to? We do know, as I already said earlier, that Usher said that he hung with Diddy and that he experienced a life with Diddy, and that he's seen some things that a child's eyes should not see. Usher said that. P. Diddy said that Usher was his little brother and that him and Usher used to wake up together. And they used to wrestle over frosted flakes. They used to wrestle over frosted flakes. Grown man wrestling a little boy. So, is this part of the flavor camp that L.A. Reid was sending Usher to and that Usher was sending Justin to? But here's a grown man who tells a little kid of 15 years. He said that when you turn 16 years old, I'll let you drive my Lamborghini. And when you turn 18, I'll give you the house. Y'all seen the video. This ain't me. Y'all seen the video. Where was the parents? That's another question. Right now, we're talking about why Diddy mad and who Diddy mad at. Because this video got out about him telling Justin this. Now, why? The question that I have then is, Usher discovered Justin Bieber, right? So Usher discovered Justin. Usher didn't really know Justin, but he discovered him. He got to know him, right? Diddy never really knew him, and he promised to let him drive his Lamborghini when he turned 16, because he seen how much Justin liked that Lamborghini. He said, when you turn 16, I'll let you drive this. Come on, man. Come on, man. So here's a little boy that you barely know. And first of all, let me just say this here. A Lamborghini. I don't know how much they cost. I just know they cost a lot. Here's a little 16-year-old boy that you don't really know. You never been around him. You weren't raised with him because you obviously wasn't raised with him. You're like 20 years older than him. Your flavor camp graduate, Usher, brings this little boy to you, obviously for your flavor camp. And now you tells this little boy who's under your control at the time, under your guidance at the time, that you're going to let him drive your Lamborghini when he turns 16. And you're going to give him that big mansion when he turns 18. You don't know this man from nowhere, this little boy from nowhere, but you tell him this. So now we have that part out the way, that you would tell a little boy, Justin Bieber, that you're going to let him drive your Lamborghini when he turns 16, and you're going to give him your house when he turns 18. The question remains, what did you teach Justin Bieber? Why was he with you? What guidance did you provide? Did you provide financial backing? Tell us something. Tell us something to justify you being in the same living space as a little boy. Tell us something. Because right now, we are confused. We are upset. We're curious. We're parents saying, hell no, that ain't gonna happen to mine. We're weary of people like you and other adults in general. We're weary of you all being around our children, grandchildren, cousins, friends, because we don't know who's the next person with this flavor camp that no one ever described. All we know is L.A. Reid sent Usher to Puffy's flavor camp. Again, that means that L.A. Reid knows something. L.A. Reid knows something. We need to be finding out what L.A. Reid knows. We need to know why L.A. Reid sent Usher to P. Diddy, talking about a flavor camp. What did P. Diddy tell you that his flavor camp consists of, that you would even send a little kid to go stay with him at 12 and 13 years old? That you would even send a little kid to go stay with a grown man at 12 and 13 years old? Talking about you sending them to a flavor camp. So now we need to find out what the hell this flavor camp is, and we might be able to get down to a whole lot of answers. And we find out what the hell is P. Diddy's flavor camp, what it consisted of. Was it for adults? Because no adult brought up the name flavor camp and said that Loon went to the flavor camp, Craig Mack, Biggie Small, Mace. No one said that the Locks went to the flavor camp. Danity Kane, Day 26, Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, why didn't they go to the flavor camp? Why didn't they go to this flavor camp? Oh, they was too old? We moving right along, y'all. P. Diddy mad at Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber ain't even coming out to his defense. Justin Bieber has suffered mental illness, became an alcoholic, drug addict, and all that type of stuff. After he left this stuff, he said that he was tired. The system, the industry wore him down. What is the industry that wore him down? Because a common thread that's being shown right now is everybody is coming through this one common factor. Moving right along. P. Diddy is mad at the young brother Orlando Brown. Who is Orlando Brown? Y'all know who Orlando Brown is? I just want to make sure that the people I'm talking to know who I'm talking about now. He is another victim. Orlando Brown is the little boy that starred along Raven Simone in That's So Raven. The little light-skinned boy. He starred along Raven Simone in That's So Raven. Good little kid at the time. I used to love him on the show. Real funny. Real funny. Had a lot of future ahead of him. Very talented. Very talented. But something happened to him. I'm talking about, he's been in the news over the last 5-6 years. He was arrested. He's been on medication, psychological medication, been depressed, angry, all type of stuff. They regard him as mentally ill. He's crazy. That's what they said about this young boy, Orlando Brown. But I want to bring y'all remembrance to your aid and tell you something about Orlando Brown that I know many of you already know, but I'm going to tell you again. Orlando Brown did an interview when they was regarding him as crazy, and he was blackballed out of Hollywood. He was blackballed out of Hollywood. They would try to say he was arrested for DUI and all this, and that's why he was black. That's why he was banned from Hollywood. No. Let's get to the truth of it, because he did an interview himself, and he told what was going on. Do anybody remember him saying this here? He said, P. Diddy, you gave me the oosh gosh goosh. He said, P. Diddy gave me the oosh gosh goosh. Do anybody remember that? He said, P. Diddy gave me the oosh gosh goosh. Now, what the hell is the oosh gosh goosh? He didn't even have to explain it, because everything that he said spoke of himself being a victim of SA, Impossible R. The oosh gosh goosh. He talked about those black rings around the eyes. He talked about those. And he talked about how, in his opinion, how that comes about. Talks about those black rings come about when people tamper with your backside. These are his words, not mine. I'm just paraphrasing. He talked about how the rings around his eyes, because he did an interview with black rings around his eyes. And it kind of hurt me, because we don't even pay attention to these children. We don't pay attention to children. We just say they acting out, and that's that. We just regard them as multiple personalities, and that's that. He said the rings around his eyes were part of, he said those rings around his eyes and people's eyes like him explains the penetration. And he was penetrated. That's what he said, that he was penetrated. And the only name that came up in his conversation that he even said along the same paragraph was Diddy. He said, P. Diddy gave me the oosh, gosh, goosh. That's what he said. P. Diddy gave me the oosh, gosh, goosh. How in the hell do we interpret that, man? How do we interpret that? How do we overlook that? Here's a guy that was famous, very famous child actor. Very famous on a very, very funny show with Raven Simone. That's So Raven. And he was blackballed out of Hollywood, they say, because he was drinking and got caught DUI. And how many people, how many adults in Hollywood got caught a DUI and still in Hollywood to this day? How many got caught with drugs and still in Hollywood to this day? The only difference between them and Orlando Brown was that they weren't with Puffy. And Puffy wasn't able to give them the oosh, gosh, goosh. That's the only difference. But other than that, they suffered from, and we know Hollywood to be full of a lot of people who have, and I'm not making fun of them, please don't think I am, because I understand and I sympathize with people that's going through their struggles. But we know that Hollywood is full of people that suffer alcohol and drug dependency. We know that. Drunks and drug addicts. Come on. But now we're talking about predatorism. Said P. Diddy gave him the oosh, gosh, goosh. All right, man. So we're going to move right along, man. I already told y'all about L.A. Reid. He mad at L.A. Reid. P. Diddy is mad at L.A. Reid because L.A. Reid did that interview and said that he sent Usher to P. Diddy flavor camp. Why would he be mad at L.A. Reid for saying something like that, though? Because L.A. Reid never even explained what P. Diddy's flavor camp was. And furthermore, P. Diddy never came out and ever said that he got a flavor camp. So for somebody else like L.A. Reid to say, I'm sending Usher to P. Diddy's flavor camp, it's like revealing a secret. That may have been P. Diddy's secret, the flavor camp. That may have been P. Diddy's secret. So to get on an interview and say that I sent Usher to P. Diddy's flavor camp, man, that right there is a direct indictment of P. Diddy, because now he has to answer that question in court somewhere. What is the flavor camp? He got to answer that question. Listen, he got to answer that question because we want to know why only children attended the flavor camp. Why only children? Where was the adults at? Could the parents tag along? Did the parents approve of this? Did you contact the parents and give status updates? Or was it just you and little children at this flavor camp? Because we know that you can't sing. So you couldn't have been teaching them how to sing or train their voice. You couldn't have been doing that. You can't rap because everybody else writes your raps. So you can't be teaching them how to rap. You wasn't teaching them how to produce music because neither one of these children came out as a movie producer or a music producer or an aspiring music or movie producer. You didn't teach them to run businesses because none of these children came out of your camp and opened up a business and ran a business. None of these children came out of your camp and look and reached back to you to help guide them and help them build their business. So you couldn't have been telling them nothing like that. So what is this flavor camp? What is this flavor camp that a grown man would have young children to attend at his home? At his home. This wasn't out in the public's eye. This was at his home. Usher was trained, if I could say trained, Usher was trained at P. Diddy's home, not in the studio. Because as I just listed, P. Diddy don't have any talents when it comes to rap, singing, soundboard. He probably can dance a little bit, but he still ain't on Usher level. So we know that Usher didn't go with him for that. Listen, right now, I think that we should demand to know exactly what the flavor camp consisted of and why L.A. Reid sent Usher to that flavor camp. We want to know from L.A. Reid, what is this flavor camp? What is this flavor camp? Or are you a part of a larger conspiracy? Because that's what it seems like. Because you sent a little boy to the house of a grown man for some type of flavor camp that nobody else has talked about. I mean, nobody. P. Diddy has never, ever did an interview and told somebody about he has a flavor camp. If he has, somebody please correct me, because I have gone over so many interviews trying to find someone who even alluded to, implied that P. Diddy had a flavor cap. Because I was just interested in trying to know what this flavor cap, because if it's on the up and up, it's on the up and up. But no one, no adult, no other child talks about this flavor cap but L.A. Reid. And P. Diddy acknowledged it. So what is it that L.A. Reid know that the public need to know? Is it predator behavior going on? Because we know, as I said, that P. Diddy wasn't teaching them how to sing or rap or dance or produce music or start a business or run a label or even dress for that matter. Come on. So L.A. Reid need to be under close scrutiny for what he know about grooming children. L.A. Reid need to be under scrutiny for what he know about grooming children, because he knows something. And this is why Diddy is mad at him, because he know that L.A. Reid probably spilt the beans. No one else talked about this. So L.A. Reid probably spilt the beans. He know this. Moving right along. P. Diddy. We know he mad at Brashear Gray. Brashear Gray is the other child from the hit TV show Empire. Y'all remember Brashear Gray? He was the rapper on the show. He's the little boy right here. Let me see. He's right to my the little boy with the high top fade. Let me get out the way of this. See that? Little boy with the high top fade. That's Brashear Gray. Brashear Gray was up under P. Diddy's tutelage, as well as Will Smith's tutelage. Brashear Gray turned to alcohol as well. He turned to alcohol as well and began having, issues with alcoholism. That's what happened with Brashear Gray. But why did that happen to Brashear Gray is the question. Brashear Gray said that he was violated. He was forced to do things to get into his acting career off the ground. He was forced to do things by men such as P. Diddy and Will Smith. Brashear Gray said that he was forced to do things. In order to get a career in Hollywood, he was forced to do things. And those who applied that pressure was P. Diddy and Will Smith. Brashear Gray is another young talent, very talented young man, as we seen on Empire. Very talented. And Brashear Gray suffered certain traumatic issues and had to step away from the industry because of what he suffered while he was in the industry. And again, he never came out and said specifically what happened, but he said that P. Diddy and Will Smith were part of a group that forced him to do things to get his career going in Hollywood. Right now he suffers from certain mental illnesses as well. I'm not gonna even go no further with him, just to say that P. Diddy is mad at that brother. Because when these allegations come out like this, and somebody names you and say that you are one of the victims, and you do not come out and say, no, he never did that to me, I think that tells the story. The silence tells the story. The silence tells the story. And so, moving right along, it's a lot of people. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but it's a lot of people that P. Diddy is just mad as hell at, y'all. I want to go through a couple and I'm gonna briefly go through these because he mad at Farnsworth Bentley. Farnsworth Bentley. Why would he be mad at Farnsworth Bentley? Farnsworth Bentley is the person that he humiliated every single day and had walking around with him with combs, combing his hair, holding an umbrella over his head, wiping the seat off before he sit down, wiping the table off before he set a cup down. That was Farnsworth Bentley. Farnsworth Bentley is the brother whom people had suspected was, gay for a long time, Farnsworth Bentley. And I'm not indicting the LGBT community, because what you all do with your community is what you do. And I'm not indicting it. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm only showing what a predator does. Because now a predator preys. It wants to weaken its victims. It wants to groom its victims before it strikes its victims. And so I'm not even gonna go no further with Farnsworth Bentley. Y'all seen the videos and all that type of stuff. Y'all know Farnsworth Bentley left the entire Hollywood scene. He left and he rushed down to Atlanta and got married and had children, because he just wanted to get away from that whole life with Diddy. He said he tried hard to work for Diddy. He got the job. But why did he run so fast away from Diddy? He ran so fast away from him. I wonder why. Moving right along. Y'all know P. Diddy mad at Gene Deal. That was his bodyguard, one of his bodyguards. He mad at Gene Deal because Gene Deal ain't holding nothing back. He putting this man on the floor. He telling the story. He's telling us, he's giving us a visual of the type of individual that Diddy is. When he talk about Diddy slapping his own mother, when he talk about Diddy having a fetish for a woman in white fingernails, and then next thing you know, his own mother is wearing white fingernails. When he talk about Diddy and the dildos, when he talk about Diddy and Ja Rule being in the room, when he talks about so many things that speaks against an upstanding individual that Puffy claimed to be. So he's definitely mad about Gene Deal, because Gene Deal is going in. Every microphone that gets in front of Gene Deal's face, he's shutting that microphone down. His microphone dropped every single time. And Diddy ain't liking it, because he know that Gene Deal spent a lot of years around him and really know him and know his secrets. And Gene Deal, as he said in so many interviews, he said, I got the receipts. He said, I know some stuff that don't nobody know yet. I still haven't talked about it, but I know some stuff. So he mad at Gene Deal. Got every reason to be mad at Gene Deal, because Gene Deal was the bodyguard that was closest to him. And now he's not turning on him. I'm not going to use the word turning. He's not telling on him. I'm not going to use the word telling. He's putting this fool on blast for all the things that this man been doing, the dehumanizing behavior that he has shown towards so many over the years. He putting them on blast. All right. I'm going to move right along, y'all, because this man is mad at everybody. And y'all know her. Y'all know this girl that he mad at right now. Jaguar Wright. He mad at Jaguar Wright. Because Jaguar Wright, first of all, ain't bagging down. But Jaguar Wright is articulating all of his abuse. As it's being spilled into the public sphere, she's deciphering this stuff, breaking it down, investigating it, and putting it back to the public so they could see the exact type of person that this guy Diddy is. And she been a part of the industry. She told some of her story. She told some of her story already. She told some of her story, and she told some stories about some big wigs, the likes of P. Diddy's and you know, Hovas and them. She told some stories. And somebody said the NDA don't count with illegal activity, I think. It don't. It don't count. NDAs don't count if a crime has been committed against you, or against anyone for that matter. That's like you telling the pastor that you unalive someone. He cannot hold that information, because a crime, you told him about a crime that you committed. He would be in violation if he held that information. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. And this is what these people like P. Diddy have people sign, a non-disclosure agreement that you cannot talk about anything that we ever deal with or that you see. You cannot talk about it. And you sign that, and now once you sign that, you are held accountable to uphold your signature on that document, that you will not speak about any of our conversations or anything that took place. But that does not apply to a crime. And that's why people are coming out the woodwork speaking about crimes, not just happenings, but crimes. Because we know, I mean, if the guy want to have a freak party, he can have a freak party. So what? If you don't like it, don't go there. If you don't like the type of sexual acts that's going on there, you don't partake in it, don't go there. Simple. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the crimes that's being committed by individuals like him, particularly him at this time. So Jaguar Wright, she's like the prosecutor right now. She putting together the case on this guy. She putting together the case on this guy, and she backing up most of everything she say with receipts. Receipt come in the form of video, receipt come in the form of interview, receipt come in so many different forms. And Jaguar Wright is making sure all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted. And I didn't say that everything she's saying is true. That's like any prosecutor. The reason why we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty is because whatever evidence they have don't mean it's all true. Because you may have evidence to counter what the prosecutor has. But what she's doing, though, is she's building that case. She's building that case, and I applaud her so much. I don't necessarily agree with everything she's saying or every way that she go about getting her point across. I don't. But I applaud her so much because it takes someone who's been behind the scenes with these people, who've been on the scene with these people, to put these people on blast. Because if don't nobody stand up against these individuals, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep on running this secret flavor camp. They're going to keep on waking up with little boys and wrestling with little boys over Frosted Flakes. And the little boys growing up. You're going to continue to see little boys with ring around their eyes. Little boys who's being driven crazy, insane, addicted to alcohol and drugs. We're going to continue to see that if people like Jaguar Wright was not speaking up and speaking out. She's using her platform to speak out against this cowardice behavior, against this predatory behavior. And I applaud that sister right there. I applaud her. I done heard her story from her own mouth. I done read her story. I done listened to it. I done investigated a whole lot of stuff. And she tried and true. She tried and true, and she know where a lot of the bodies are buried. And so P. Diddy is mad as hell at her. He got every reason to be. But I'm going to say to Jaguar Wright, keep speaking up, keep speaking out, and we applaud you, flat out. Another person that P. Diddy is just so mad at right now. Uncle Ron. Y'all know who Uncle Ron is? Does anybody know who Uncle Ron is? Uncle Ron is P. Diddy's other former bodyguard. He's P. Diddy's other former bodyguard, not Ron SMC, Ron DMC. So Uncle Ron is P. Diddy's other former bodyguard that used to do his bodyguard work in the 90s when Biggie was alive and stuff like that. Uncle Ron did an interview, and he specifically stated that P. Diddy tried to pay him $30,000 to off Biggie. Now, why is this important to the allegations being made against Diddy today? Because this tells of the story that he would do anything to silence anybody that speaks out against him. This is his anger. So when he found out that Biggie was leaving Bad Boy, when he feel like he the one put Biggie on, and Biggie talking about leaving Bad Boy, he wanted Biggie out the way. And Uncle Ron said that he tried to pay him $30,000 to get Biggie out the way. So now this comes back to hunt P. Diddy because any of Biggie's friends, from Little Kim, Lil Cease, that whole Junior Mafia, all the Locks, all of these people who were Biggie's friends, they hear this and y'all seen that movie Training Day when Denzel Washington was outside with Jake and Jake had the gun or something and Denzel Washington was looking for somebody in the community to help him. And them boys was like, you got to put in your own work around here, bro. They wasn't with him. And that's what's happening with all of Biggie's friends who once walked and talked with Diddy. And now he looking back to them like, I know y'all don't believe this. I said, man, you got to put in your own work. Don't look to us. So right now, Diddy is pissed off at Uncle Ron. That Uncle Ron even did an interview like that. That he would even do an interview like that, talking about Diddy tried to pay him to off Biggie. I know this whole video is long. I know. But I'm telling you like this. I don't like predators. And everything about this individual says predator. Everything about this individual says predator. Everything about this individual says traitor. Everything about this individual screams corruption. Destroyer. Destroyer of pride. Destroyer of communities. Destroyer of hope. Destroyer of leaders. Destroyer of children. Destroyer of family. Everything about this individual speaks volumes. Nothing healthy. And so you see his eyes behind me, right? Come on, man. Eyes are the window to the soul. Who else is P. Diddy mad at? I ain't gonna name everybody, but I'm just giving y'all a list of some people. I'm not gonna even, he mad at Cassie and his other alleged SA and R victims. Because he think like if it wasn't for Cassie, none of this, nobody would ever know none of this stuff. And so we give big ups to Cassie. I don't care if she got paid out, paid up, or whatever. Because they still never said it didn't happen. Did anybody notice that? That still today, no one from P. Diddy's camp challenged Cassie's allegations. They just said that the payout is not to be interpreted as an admission of guilt. But they didn't challenge the allegation. They didn't challenge the allegation. They didn't challenge the allegation of his former girlfriend, whom I don't even want to put a name on it, but y'all know who she is. She's right behind me on one of the pictures. She talked about how he beat her in the head and she would just cover her face up and he was kind of careful not to hit her in the face. So he just beat her along the side of the head and stomping on her stomach and stuff. P. Diddy mad as hell at them. He mad at them because he like, why y'all waited? I thought this was done. I thought we would leave this behind. Yeah, that's what you thought. That's what you thought, that you was gonna do this type of stuff and people was just gonna let it go. So you could find another victim to do this to. The young 17-year-old girl out of Detroit that P. Diddy was seen in the picture with, she was sitting on his lap in the studio, that said that P. Diddy and Aaron Hall SA'd and R'd her. He pissed off at them. He pissed off at them. He pissed off at them. I'm not going to even go off into a lot of the women right there. But we know that he's pissed off at them because they coming forward, they standing up, and he can't control them anymore. That's why he's pissed off at them. He can't control them anymore. They took back their power. They took back the control of their lives. He tried to destroy them with drugs and alcohol, manipulation, group psychology, intimidation. That's right. So now they done took back who they are. They done took back their entire, their nature, their being, their lives. They took it back from him. He can't stand that. No predator can stand when his victims take their life back. No predator likes that. No misogynistic, egotistical individual like for his victims to take their lives back. To come out and talk about the trauma. To come out and share their trauma with other people in hopes that other people who may have suffered the same trauma will come out as well. None of these predators like that. None of these sociopaths like that. None of these egotistical, maniacal, sociopathic imbeciles like that type of stuff. That's why I applaud any victim that finds the courage within them or the strength within them to come forward. And for those who are still scared, hiding in the wings or whatever, I applaud you as well. Because I know it can't be hard. It can't be hard. It can't be harder, more harder on you to come out. So I know it's not easy at all to find the means to take your power back from someone who exerted so much control over you at a certain point in your life. I applaud y'all. I applaud y'all. P. Diddy. This man, I know right now, if he wasn't under the microscope the way he is right now, because we already know the story of Kim Porter, the question about how she really passed, because she was about to come out with a tell-all book. That helped bring the spotlight to him as well, because rumors started to circulate. Anybody that speaks out against him have met an untimely fate. A la Biggie, a la Kim Porter. Al B. Shore was coming out with his tell-all, and he ended up in a coma for 2 months. Come on. Come on, man. Are we just gonna stay asleep and allow creeps like this to continue to creep around us and walk around us and smile in our face while they essaying and are our children, talking about send them to my flavor camp? Are we gonna even continue to allow people to acknowledge someone, a grown man, that's having a flavor camp that little children go to, and it's just them and that grown man? A flavor camp that's not documented, a flavor camp that we cannot hold accountable because we don't know what it's made up of, a flavor camp that's ran by who, a flavor camp that no one else knows where it's at, why it exists, how it exists, when it started. A flavor camp. Are we going to continue to allow individuals like this to train our children, to help them along the process of their entertainment aspirations, their collegiate aspirations, their sports aspirations? We heard too many stories. Come on. This guy right here, Y'all know he mad at 50 Cent. He pissed off at 50 Cent, y'all. Man, look, if he could get away with it right now, 50 Cent head would be on the chopping block. He do not like 50 Cent because 50 Cent been saying this about Diddy. He been saying this about Diddy. I ain't even got to go no further about that. He hate 50 Cent. He mad at 50 Cent. He wish he could do something to 50 Cent. And y'all know I ain't lying. He wish he could do something to 50 Cent. And y'all know another person that he mad at is Mace. Man, that used to be his little right-hand protege. Mace. Man. I think he mad at Mace because he never was able to get the Mace. Let me say that again. I think that he mad at Mace because he was never able to get to Mace. Do that make sense? That he mad at Mace because he was never able to get to Mace. And Mace took all his power back, took all of his control back. Mace found himself back in the church. And then Mace found himself, after he found the strength to become who he wanted to become and follow his own heart, he came back for what he left, his rights to his music. And he had to put this man on blast that had taken advantage of him and so many people like him. Mace came back to tell the story. A lot of people don't live to tell the story. But Mace came back to tell the story so that others will know the story and know not to be duped by the Lamborghini, by the giving of a mansion to little boys that he don't even know. Mace came back to share with the people the story of a monster, how real monsters look. Mace came back to tell that story of how real monsters look, because when we think of monsters, we think of people with certain contorted facial expressions and drooling at the mouth and big eyes and long ears and deformed facial expressions and stuff like that. That's what we think of when we think of monsters. But Mace came back to tell us that we all wrong. If y'all looking for a monster to look that way, like we was told how monsters look as a child, then this is why predators will continue to grow and gain strength. Because we looking for monsters to look a certain way instead of look just like some of us. We're looking for monsters to come in a certain form. That's not how monsters look. Monsters look just like us. Monsters live right next door to us, some in the same house with us. That's how monsters look. Monsters sit there in the elementary school buildings, the teachers, the principals, the security. Monsters are at the police station working as officers, and monsters are in every facet of life that you could ever imagine. But if you think that a monster is some fictitious creature, then you're already wrong. You're going to lose sight of who that real monster is. So, y'all know that P. Diddy mad at Fabulous, right? Why would he be mad at Fab? Because he wish he had Fab. Because if he had Fab, Fab got a lot of pull, and Fab would be able to come to his aid and say, on Drink Champs that day, P. Diddy was just playing with me. That's how we play. But Fab never came out like that. He never came out like that in support of Diddy. He left the show the way Diddy came on the show. That's how he left it. He never said anything bad, never said anything good. He left it alone. Because P. Diddy was trying to force himself on Fab. with some homosexuality, force himself on Fab. Tried to force Fab to come party with him, just him and Fab. And Fab wasn't buying it. And now P. Diddy wish that Fab would just come to his aid and say, no, P. Diddy was just playing. He don't prey on people like that. P. Diddy ain't no predator. He ain't no predator. He was just playing. That's how we play sometimes. But Fab never came back with a story that Puffy is my man's. We used to wake up together and wrestle over Frosted Flakes. Because Fab know that he too old for Diddy to wrestle with over Frosted Flakes. So that wasn't his story. He let P. Diddy own behavior tell who P. Diddy was when he was trying to force himself, y'all. Did anybody see that Drink Champs to where Diddy was trying to force himself on Fab? Did anybody see? I said the same thing too, but I don't know. I just know on that particular episode, he tried to force himself on Fab, and Fab looked terrified. Fab was like, and Diddy kept saying, when you gonna come party with me? Just me and you. You ain't party with me, just me and you. And then he put that look down on Fab like, y'all know that look? That's what he did to Fab. And so now, yeah, he pissed off at Fab right now for not coming out and just saying, no, he wasn't trying to prey on me. Diddy ain't no predator. I ain't never known him to be a predator. Because if a guy like that in that situation came out and attested that P. Diddy is not a predator like that, that's just the way that P. Diddy play, that could go a long way with some people. But Fab ain't coming out like that to support that guy like that, and he shouldn't. And I applaud Fab for not coming out, not trying to clean it up. I applaud Fab for leaving that story just the way it is, so people can see the true essence of that particular story. I applaud Fab. So, y'all know P. Diddy mad at Kanye, right? Why would he be mad at Kanye, though? What did Kanye West do to him? It was Kanye West on Drink Champs that really went off on P. Diddy. Said that P. Diddy is the feds. Now, if you know anything about Diddy, Diddy's father was an informant. Diddy's father was an informant. So when Kanye went out on Diddy, he mentioned the fact that they working for the feds. People like Diddy working for the feds. And it started making sense to some people that did fact checking and research on the backstory and found out that P. Diddy's father was a FBI informant who sold drugs. And P. Diddy's mother, his father had been offed when P. Diddy was real young, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. And his mother always told P. Diddy that his father had I think had passed away some other way, somehow, some way. When come to find out, P. Diddy's father was offed because people found out that he was working for the feds. And he got into a particular drug deal that went bad. That's the story that his mother told. But he got off because they found out he was working for the feds. Yeah, he was 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. I think he was 2 years old. But his mother always told him that his father was unalived during a drug deal gone wrong. But the truth of the matter was that he was off because them street cats found out that he was an informant for the feds. So now, when Kanye get on Drink Champs and he started blazing P. Diddy, saying F P. Diddy, y'all ain't number work, y'all working for the feds. Now it started to make sense. And why do I bring up the feds though? How do that tie into this case? Because if you working for the feds in any way, they let you get away with a whole lot of stuff because they waiting on you to help them bring down somebody. I know this because a lot of people worked against me with the feds. I know this to be true. A lot of people worked with the police against me. And the police allowed them to do a whole lot of dirt as long as they bring back something for them to build a case on. So exposing the secrets of Hollywood, the feds love that. They eat that up. That's stuff that they could put in their to-do list, on their to-do list when they do need to raid somebody in Hollywood. They already know who, because you done already let them in, P. Diddy. I don't know if you're actual informant. I don't know. But I know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I know that Kanye West wasn't just rambling. He didn't just pull that jewel up out his hat and just say it. I know that. And so, moving right along, y'all. He pissed off at Kanye right now. And he pissed off because Kanye, he thought that Kanye was going to fall all the way from grace financially. So then he wouldn't be a competitor with P. Diddy. That's what P. Diddy thought. That Kanye West would take a deep fall after that Jewish stuff. But it didn't happen that way, P. Diddy. So now we have, I'm rounding it up, y'all. I got like two more on this long list of people that P. Diddy mad at. He mad at Audrey O'Day from Danity Kane because she been telling the story of Diddy for years now. And she was regarded too as crazy, as just bringing up stuff, as just blaming him. She was regarded that way. I give big ups to her because she found the strength back in the days, years ago, to come out against Diddy. Even just look at the video when Diddy kept trying to impose on her his masculinity and his misogynistic ways. She stood firm. She said, no, we're not going there. We're not going there. Diddy, I don't want to hear that. No, I don't want to hear that. It is literally on video. I watched it. All you got to do is Google, or don't Google, go on YouTube and look up confrontation between Audrey O'Day and Diddy. Go look it up and watch how Diddy was trying to impose himself on her. He was trying to force her to think the way that he wanted her to think, and she wasn't buying it. Go check it out. I was flabbergasted because I had heard the story, and I remember watching Making the Band. I remember them getting into it on Making the Band, but I didn't really understand how hard put P. Diddy was, how forceful he was. I didn't regard him as engaging in predator behavior at the time because I didn't really understand it. But now, as I done looked at this stuff, and I seen Audrey O'Day, how she was defending herself and defending her position and defending other women, man, you got to give big ups to her because she stood her ground with P. Diddy. She did not let P. Diddy get away with any of the sexual innuendos he was trying on her, any of the inappropriate comments he was trying to make about her or against her or about women. She stood her ground. And P. Diddy right now is pissed off at her because she did that years ago, and now it's going to make people look back to all those years and look and study and scrutinize his behavior with everybody that he dealt with from back then. Because I can assure you that As 50 said, a lot of more people about to come out. There's people coming out of that's going to step out who is in making a band. It's going to be some people who's going to come out from there. It's going to be some people. It may be another Danity Kane girl come out. It's going to be a Day 26. Somebody coming out of Day 26. Somebody coming out of, they're going to question the girls from Total. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Because this here, Cassie was suing the guy because she alleged that he SA'd her and R'd her, brutally beat her on many occasions, intimidated her, held her hostage, all type of stuff. So I got one more that I want to bring up, and I ask that y'all share out my live feed, because I think I'm talking about something that resonate with everybody. You know, because we talking about Diddy being mad at everybody just because everybody's standing up and speaking out and not speaking on his behalf. No one is coming to his aid. Diddy is mad at Drink Champs the whole show because he had wished that they had edited the part that he was preying on Fabulous. He mad at Drink Champs because they should have edited that part to block out that part where he was preying on Fabulous. So Diddy pissed off at Drink Champs right now. He don't want to talk to Drink Champs. Ain't nobody off Drink Champs coming and saying that Diddy was just kind of tipsy at the time or playing with nobody. He pissed off at them. He got every reason to be pissed off at them because they got every reason to stand up and air the show according to what was done on that show. If he didn't want to be seen as some predator, he shouldn't have engaged in predatory behavior. Simple as that. P. Diddy, he engaged in predatory behavior on Drink Champs podcast, and we all seen it. And I'm asking that anybody who didn't see it, go on, just put in YouTube, Drink Champs with P. Diddy and Fabulous. And y'all tell me what y'all think, because I know that many people have seen this. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your opinion is about P. Diddy and his encounter or his obsession with Fabulous. Tell me that you see this, because he made it clear that he had an obsession with this brother Fabulous. He tried to impose himself on that brother Fabulous, and Drink Champs let the tape run. They let the tape run. They did not turn that tape off, and I applaud my man and them from Drink Champs for letting that tape run, because we was able to see firsthand how aggressive P. Diddy is on TV with a grown man. I'm talking about with a grown man. He was that aggressive on TV with a grown man. So imagine his aggression, his manipulation, and his psychology at his flavor camp. If he had the gall to think that he could be that aggressive on TV, on Drink Champs, in front of several men, he even told Noriega, he kept calling Noriega daddy. And he said, I love it when you scrape and crawl, daddy. He did all of this. All men was on this show. And P. Diddy preyed on Fabulous right in front of all these men. Come on, man. So if he preyed on Fabulous, he preyed on Fabulous. First of all, if you knew the backstory to Fabulous, just a little bit of his backstory, who his father was and who his father was dealing with, you will then understand that Fab ain't just a run-of-the-mill type guy. But here Diddy is, tried to impose himself on this guy on TV. And Drink Champs just let the tape run. And I know right now P. Diddy is pissed off that they did not cut those scenes from that tape. He pissed off. But I'm glad that they did not cut those scenes from the tape, because now it shows his predatory ways. And it shows that Fab, he did this on TV in front of 5 or 6 other men. Fab was able to hold his ground. But imagine that 12-year-old at his flavor camp, at his house, just them two together by themselves. That child don't stand a chance. Male or female child don't stand a chance. And that TV show, that Drink Champs, his behavior on that Drink Champs said so much. Said so much. That's with the information that's in the public sphere today about little boys and him allegedly grooming them, man, we know for sure that no little boy had any chance with P. Diddy. And let me just do a recap so we could talk about the little boys. You had Orlando Brown, Justin Bieber, Lil Jerome, YK Osiris, Lil TJ, Usher. And by the way, he dealt with Criss Cross too when they was little boys. Just so y'all know. Dealt with Criss Cross too. So we're going to add Criss Cross. And now we're going to talk about, we're going to close this out first of all, just so y'all know. But we're going to talk about this one guy that P. Diddy did come out and say something about directly. He never said anything about anybody else. Anybody else. He never named anybody else except one person. Shannon Sharpe. He came out and said, Shannon Sharpe, I don't know why you trying to put me down when you was at my parties too. And you was sucking blood off my neck like everybody else. But listen, y'all, I've been on here a little bit of time. I appreciate everybody listening to me. This has been an interesting topic. This has been an interesting 2 weeks for P. Diddy, I'm sure. That he pissed off at the world right now because the world refused to accept his nonsense. He pissed off at the world right now because the sheets have been stripped off of him. He pissed off at the world right now because the world can see exactly what he was thinking when he was dealing with little boys. He's pissed off right now because the world is now able to see him and judge him accordingly and deal with him accordingly and not look at him as he want people to look at him, like he did on the Grammy show when he gave that eloquent speech. He's pissed off at the world because the world no longer supports him. With that, P. Diddy is pissed off. Talking about P. Diddy, y'all. So with that, I'm going to close. I can't even close right now. I can't even close right now. You know why? Because it's somebody else that I failed to mention that he's pissed off at. He pissed off at his friend Jay-Z. At his friend Jay-Z. Why would he be pissed off at Jay-Z, y'all? Do anybody know why P. Diddy would be pissed off at Jay-Z right now? I'm gonna wait. Yeah, his friend Jay-Z. Do anybody know why P. Diddy would be pissed off at Jay-Z right now? This guy Jay-Z is worth $3 billion. He's not only pissed off at Jay-Z because he know Jay-Z was at many of his parties. And when a guy like that is going down and you on that steep hill and you going down, you trying to grab hold to anybody to help you break your fall. And he can't grab hold of Jay-Z right now. Jay-Z ain't even giving him a hand. But yet, that's his close friend. That's the guy that was at all of the Diddy parties. That's the guy whose name came up in very similar allegations as P. Diddy. But yet he's able to escape it and P. Diddy is not. Not only is he able to escape the allegations and P. Diddy is not, but P. Diddy failed to remember that he sold his soul. And that once you sold your soul and you became a part of that particular society that you became a part of, there's rules that you must follow. And when you break that rule, you must be held accountable and dealt with accordingly. And you broke that rule, Diddy. What up, though? You broke that rule, Diddy, when you put your hands on that girl. So they turned their back on you. And maybe that's one of the reasons why Jay-Z ain't coming to your aid. Because you broke that rule. And the people behind the scenes are daring anybody to come to your aid when you broke that rule. You got to be dealt with. You got to be dealt with in the public's eye. That's how certain societies work. I've never been a part of it, but I've read about it. They will cover for you for many things. But once you break one of the rules or the covenants, you must be dealt with accordingly. And you broke that covenant. And now you're dealing with it accordingly. Nobody, not one person that you thought was your friend, that you had the audacity to think was your friend, when you know the rules of the society that you are a part of, not one of them are coming to your aid. Not one of them have made a statement on your behalf to attest how good of a person you are. And that's for a reason. Because you may not be worthy of being protected by the society that you are a part of. And so what they do is they kick you to the wolves. And you have been kicked to the wolves, P. Diddy. You have been kicked to the wolves. You have been sacrificed. Like you sacrificed so many people. You sacrificed so many people. Kim Porter, Biggie Small, Wolf, Usher, TK Osiris, Lil Jerome, Justin, Orlando, Farnsworth Bentley, Brayshire Gray, Cassie. Peace and love to those within the sound of my voice. And for those who cannot hear the sound of my voice, I say pass along the message, because someone needs to be inspired.